prepare to race onto the field. Everything is riding on this football game. So there's a special intensity, a special urgency. Here come the Volunteers. Wherever you listen throughout the world, it's football time in Tennessee.
Welcome to the Talkin Balls Network. My name is Boogie Bentley, and today we're going to talk about the ongoing quarterback controversy in Knoxville. We're heading into the third game of the season this Saturday against Tennessee Tech, and there still is not the guy. Nobody has emerged, and the fan base is at odds with each other. It's the constant topic across all of VAWLS, Twitter, social media, YouTube. That's what everybody is talking about, is the quarterback controversy. Just a side note, not going to drop a scouting report this week. It's Tennessee Tech. It's Tennessee Tech, guys. So we'll make predictions on tomorrow night's live stream. I'd rather take some time and look at what Joe Milton and look at what Hendon Hooker did on Saturday afternoon. Also, why can't Harrison Bailey get on the field? But as always, guys, do me a favor. Go ahead and smash that thumbs up just below the video. If you enjoy the content, if you enjoy what we do here, whether you agree, disagree, smash that thumbs up. If you're new, welcome. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Click that bell for notifications so you don't miss out when we go live or when we drop new content. Again, we will be live tomorrow night, Tuesday night, every single Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time, and immediately following the games on Saturday. You guys want to get an advantage over your sports book? You need to head over to the App Store or the Google Play Store. Download BetQL, the only app you need to make smart bets. Their computer model scans over 350,000 unique bets per year to give you the best bet recommendation for every game across all major sports. Also gives you the reasoning behind why you should place that bet. Their model covers everything from spreads to over-unders and player prop bets. But I know how some of you guys are. You don't always listen. You want to play armchair quarterback, and that's fine. If you want to do the work yourself, BetQL has all the necessary tools for your research needs. Sharp data so you can see who the pros are backing, line movements, you can jump on betting opportunities in real time. They've also got great team summaries highlighting previous success against the spread and the over-under. So go to try.betql.co/VAWLS to get started now. Going to drop all the links in the description below, but if you use that promo code VAWLS at checkout, you're going to save 25% on all subscription offerings. They also have a deal where you can get an entire year of BetQL for free. So jump in the description below. Check that out, BetQL. So let's kick this thing off. Let's start talk about Joe Milton. If you sit back and you watch the way he plays the game, the way he runs the offense, you look at his physical attributes. Obviously, everybody talking about the big cannon of an arm. It's easy to see why Josh Heupel fell in love with Joe Milton and named him the starter. But going into the season, everybody was concerned about his accuracy. And the hope was that Josh Heupel could clean up a few of these issues. And honestly, when I watched the game, it's mind-blowing. And looking at Saturday afternoon, his very first deep ball of the game, he shows good pocket awareness. He slides over, steps up, delivers an absolute dime to Jalen Hyatt in the end zone, and it gets dropped. You had 3rd and 5 later in the first quarter. He hits Jacob Warren on an out route, pinpoint accuracy, great timing and delivery. The window to deliver that ball was maybe the size of the football, and Joe Milton again puts it on a dime, perfect delivery. I feel like if you take away his Achilles heel, if you take away the deep ball, I feel like Joe Milton has looked pretty good. I like what he brings in the running game. I thought he seemed a little less gun shy when he was running the football this week, but the missed deep balls are absolutely maddening. I've never seen anything like it in all of my years of watching football. Josh Heupel had a few plays schemed up early that were guaranteed touchdowns, and in basically a pick'em game, you cannot miss those opportunities. You have a chance to possibly go up 21-0, put the nail in the coffin, put Pitt to bed early, but you can't capitalize on it. And a huge part of this offense, a huge part of what Josh Heupel wants to do is to be able to stretch the field vertically. But if you can't hit those guys running wide open down the field, then at some point you have to make a move. And obviously, you never want to see a kid get hurt. You hate to see Joe Milton go down, but I was honestly ready to see Hendon Hooker get an opportunity, just not under the circumstances that it happened. But midway through the second quarter, Joe Milton goes down. Hendon Hooker enters the game. Felt like he got off to a bit of a slow start. I talked a little bit about this in the post-game show. I thought they were conservative with the play calling, but after rewatching the game yesterday, they really didn't do themselves any favors. They got behind the chains a couple of times. They had a couple of running plays for loss. They also had some penalties. They seemed like they couldn't get going when Hendon Hooker entered the game, and to no fault of Hendon Hooker. And then I felt like they kept rolling him out to the left, which Hendon Hooker did not look comfortable when they were asking him to roll to the left. And, that eventually led to him not taking care of the football, coughing up the fumble. And you can't do that. The blame for that is on nobody other than Hendon Hooker. But other than that, other than the turnovers, I thought Hendon Hooker looked pretty solid for the most part. And it's easy to point out the turnovers. That's easy. We all see it. It's clear as day. We see the turnovers. The interception, he lost track of the backside safety. Kid made a play on the ball. It is what it is. If he continues to turn the ball over, then just like Joe Milton, if Joe Milton continued to miss the deep ball, at some point you move on. If Hendon Hooker continues to turn the ball over, it is what it is. You got to move on. But this was Hendon Hooker's first real opportunity at Tennessee. I thought he made a big-time play with his feet late in the third quarter. Tennessee down 2 touchdowns, looking at a 3rd and 15. Nobody open. Hendon Hooker goes and makes a play with his feet, made a really nice cutback in the open field, picks up the first down. A few plays later, he hits Jacob Warren in the end zone, cutting it to a 7-point lead and keeping Tennessee in the football game. And I felt like Hendon Hooker did that for the most part all night long. He kept Tennessee in it, but he just couldn't make the plays down the stretch to actually tie the game or take the lead. Later in the fourth, again, Pitt had multiple opportunities to put Tennessee away, and Hendon Hooker kept leading them back down the field. Again, like I said, later in the fourth, down 2 scores. He leads them right down the field, hits Jacob Warren on the play-action seam route that Milton continues to miss. Hendon Hooker hits him in stride, gets down to the goal line. They go down again, cut the score, or cut the game down to a 1-score game, just giving them an opportunity. They just never could capitalize when they were within 1 score. And like I said, obviously they didn't get it done, but I felt like he played solid minus the turnovers. But that is part of it. I'm not excusing the turnovers. I'm not saying the turnovers are acceptable. I'm just saying in the grand scheme of things, I thought Hendon Hooker played okay. He just, he doesn't have that wow factor or that flash of a guy like Joe Milton. I feel like when Joe Milton walks on the field, everybody's staring to see what's going to happen. But Hendon Hooker, you talk about all spring. That's why he was my guy to be the starter before Josh Heupel went out and got Joe Milton, because he was steady Eddie. Ended up finishing the game 15 of 21, 188 yards, 2 touchdowns. Did have the interception and the lost fumble, but also had 9 carries for 49 yards. So where do we go from here? It's going to be interesting to see what Josh Heupel does moving forward. What is he going to try to get done this week in practice, but also in the game against Tennessee Tech? Haven't yet seen an update on Joe Milton. It's pretty early. Monday morning as I'm recording this. I haven't seen an update. If he's healthy, is he going to get plugged right back in as the starter? I could completely see that happening. Or do you roll with Hendon Hooker and give him a chance to take all the first-team reps in practice, and then majority of the playing time against Tennessee Tech getting ready for that Florida game? In the post-game press conference, Josh Heupel pretty much said all positions are up for grabs. And I know the Indy kid said, in his video yesterday that he wants all 3 guys to get a shot against Tennessee Tech. He wants to see if Joe Milton's healthy. He wants to see Hendon Hooker. He wants to see Harrison Bailey. My opinion's a little different than his, and it goes back to what I said on the postgame show. How close were Hendon Hooker and Harrison Bailey when it comes to being the backup quarterback? Obviously, Josh Heupel wants to keep that competition fresh, but how close truly was it? If it was as close as he let on, if it really was QB2A, QB2B, then I want to see Harrison Bailey against Tennessee Tech. But if Harrison Bailey has no opportunity, if Josh Heupel is not going to give him an opportunity to go out there and start against Florida, then I want Hendon Hooker to get as many in-game reps as possible and get him ready to go for week 4. And, we can sit here and talk about how great Harrison Bailey was in high school. We can drop stats. We can spin the argument however we want to spin it. Everybody has their opinions, and that's fine. If we agree or disagree, does not matter. At the end of the day, Josh Heupel is the guy that's getting paid millions of dollars to make this decision, and he's going to roll with the guy that he feels gives this team the best opportunity to succeed. He's around this team every single day in practice, and if he makes the wrong decision, that's on him. But as a Tennessee fan base, we have to hope that Josh Heupel knows more about football. He knows more about the quarterback position than the average Joe sitting on their couch watching the game on ESPN. So again, we can spin it however we want to spin it. We can say that we know more than Josh Heupel. We can say Harrison Bailey should be starting, but at the end of the day, we better hope that Josh Heupel knows more than us sitting on our couch. Indy Kid took a ton of heat yesterday, and on the post-game show for saying that the quarterbacks really didn't play that bad. But you know what, guys? When you go back and you rewatch the game and you don't show bias because you don't like Joe Milton or because you want Harrison Bailey in or you want Hendon Hooker in or you want this or you want that, if you watch the game with an unbiased opinion, the quarterbacks really did not play that bad. I agree with it. When you look at their overall body of work and what they did in that game, they both had more rushing yards than Jabari Small and Jalen Wright combined. They bring a spark to the running game. I thought Hendon Hooker looked pretty dynamic in the open field. And I wonder if that's part of it. I wonder if that's part of the whole thing with why Harrison Bailey can't get on the field. I wonder if it's more of a protection problem on that offensive line. I felt like last season, Harrison Bailey showed some good pocket presence at times. He always stands tall, looks in command, but he also holds on to the ball a little bit too long. And he can't escape pressure the same way that Joe Milton and Hendon Hooker can. He just can't. It's reality. Those guys not only escape pressure, but they are an effective part of the ground game. And I wonder how much that plays into Josh Heupel's decision of whether or not to start Harrison Bailey. But we'll see how it plays out this week. We'll see how practice goes. We'll keep you guys up to date. Tons of content coming your way as we lead up to the Tennessee Tech game on Saturday. Again, just a quick reminder, we will be live tomorrow night, Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time, and then Saturday immediately following the game. But that is going to wrap it up for this one. Leave me a comment. Let me know your thoughts. Who do you want to roll with as we head into Tennessee Tech? How should Josh Heupel handle it if Joe Milton's healthy? Should all three guys play? What do you do to build towards that Florida game? Again, saw some positive things in the Pitt game, saw some good things, saw some bad things. But this football team has to grow up. They have to get better in a hurry. But like I said, leave me a comment. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you smash that thumbs up and join us tomorrow night for Talkin' VAWLS Live. But this is the Talkin' VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.
The songs how like green, poets sat in our chains, soaking moonlit.